Hello, good afternoon. We are going to start the webinar. Let's wait 1 minute to see that everybody is entering properly. Okay, let's be punctual and let's start the webinar of today. I am Alejandro Guinea de Salas. I am the president of EUROGI. EUROGI is the European umbrella organization for geographic information. We have members from very different sectors like public, private, academic, and civil society associations. We bridge from local to national and European scales for geographic information governance. So what we want to do, our mission is to bring together members and partners from across Europe. Our added value is not only our direct members, but the networks that they represent. We represent now more than 230 organizations across Europe through our members and members. And that's all from my side. We are very happy to answer you any question related with EUROGI. But let's go straight away to the webinar. We have with us Teresa Martinez and Luis Chocano. Thank you very much both to be here and to spend time with us, sharing your knowledge. Teresa Martinez is from Telespazio, is a GNSS consultant at GNSS Support Centre. We will call it, maybe you know it as GSC, and they support the European Union Agency for the Space Program. This is called EUSPA. She holds a Master in Physics from the University of Granada and has extensive experience in GNSS, Global Navigation Satellite Systems, Earth Observation, and Geographic Information Systems, combining technical, commercial, and consultancy skills. Teresa is market-oriented space program professional with a strong focus on user services and the adoption of GNSS across different application domains. Her work supports users in effectively accessing and leveraging Galileo services and EU space data. And Luis Chocano from the company Ineco. He's a GNSS senior expert at Galileo Support Centre, the GSC. And sorry, he provides specialized support to the European Union Agency for the Space Program, EUSPA, and the Spanish Ministry of Transport. He holds an MSc in Aeronautical Engineering from the Polytechnic University of Madrid and has completed this technical background with postgraduate studies in business management in the United States and Spain. As well, Luis has extensive experience in satellite navigation, space, and aviation, and has held multiple leadership roles, including project manager and project director, leading national and international projects. His work focuses in the management and implementation of GNSS and space initiatives, supporting the adoption of Galileo services across different sectors. Thank you again, Teresa and Luis, and whenever you want, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. I'm going to share my screen. One moment. Okay, now let me know if it's sharing.
Yes, We see
Okay.
it and we hear you and we see you.
Okay, perfect. So good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with the EUROGI community. Thank you, Alejandro. My name is Teresa, as Alejandro introduced us. Thank you very much. So yeah, we both, Luis and I, my colleague Luis Chocano, we both work at the European GNSS Service Centre, GSC, based in Madrid, where we provide technical and operational support to EUSPA, the European Agency for the Space Programme. Our mission is to act as the single interface for Galileo users. So for us, it's very important to know and give support to you in your application and in the use of Galileo. And here, rather than a deep technical, let's say, deep dive, our goal today is to give you a broad, high-level overview of what Galileo, the European GNSS satellite system, can do for you. But most importantly, we want this to be the start point of potential collaboration with you. So beyond these slides that we will see today, our main aim is to ensure that you know who we are and how to reach us, because we will have just an hour, maybe it's not enough. So feel free to reach us after the webinar. Thank you very much, EUROGI, for the collaboration, Alejandro, and all attendees for your interest in learning more about the opportunities offered by Galileo. We hope this webinar will serve to share knowledge, discover new applications, and open avenues for cooperation between the EUROGI community and the European space sector. So I will go to the next slide. One moment. I don't know, but I cannot move to the next one.
Maybe with the arrow, con la flecha.
Yeah. I'm doing this, but one moment. Ahora, now it's okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now that we have introduced ourselves and our role at the GSC, I would like to explain a bit the agenda for today. We just introduce ourselves. So to guide us through this session, we have a structured agenda like this. We'll begin by explaining the GSC and EUSPA. It's important for us to know a bit who we are, followed by a general introduction to Aerospace program, and in particular, in the frame of navigation system, we will introduce Galileo and services. And then we will take a closer look at the two key pillars for Galileo services. We have many services, but we will focus on high accuracy service and open service navigation message authentication, OSNMA, that will be introduced by my colleague Luis. And then moving into practical territory, we will discuss how Galileo specifically empowers geoinformation, and we will wrap up by sharing essential information like report, resources, projects, future opportunities, and we will conclude with key points of the day, but please let us know if you have any question at the end of the session. So in order to be a bit more interactive, I invite you to share, to scan this QR code. In any case, I'm going to do it here. Because for us, as I mentioned, we mentioned before, it's really important to know what is your role, who are you, and how can support you. So this is just question to know about you, and then we will have a more technical question. in order to know what is the type of audience, what is your role or position within EUROGI. If you are more in the public sector, government, academia, research, for that is important to know this kind of profiles. Okay, you can answer. Maybe more audience will join later, right, Alejandro? But okay, we will share the presentation, so no problem to answer this question. Okay, most of you are from public sector and government, I see, and industry, private sector, other, maybe not. Okay. Okay, I will go to the next one. Take your time. Which satellite navigation system are you currently using? Sorry, I haven't explained yet what is satellite navigation system, but this is a really important question in order to know from the start of the webinar. If you know about what is GNSS, Global Navigation Satellite System, GPS and Galileo are part of GNSS. It's a mistake when people mention GPS because indeed the standard name is GNSS. We have GPS, we have Galileo, we have another kind of navigation system. So, well, I see very homogeneous answers here. Okay, so you are not using navigation system. Some of you, very interesting to know for us. Okay, take your time in your phone. You will see, in any case, you can answer the question, but I will go to the presentation again. So thank you very much for the answer. Okay, perfect. I don't know why I cannot go to the next slide. It's like it takes time. Sorry. Now, I don't know why. Okay, so yes, to understand how we work, I would like to give you a very brief presentation about GSC and EUSPA. It's important to look at the relationship between the European Agency of the Space Program, EUSPA, and the GSC. Yes, while EUSPA manages the operational security and market uptake of the Eurospace program, as the European GNSS Service Centre, GSC acts as the, let's say, expert hub for the user community, giving support to EUSPA and in particular Galileo. So for us, it's very important to know what is your feedback. If you are interested in using GNSS, what are your gaps, what are your needs? We are here to bridge the gap between the satellites and your practical application. So we will give you information about how to reach us after the webinar, because we are not let's say industry sector. What we want is to provide for free, because we work for EUSPA under the European Commission, give support to users. So this is very, very important on us. EUSPA has the agency, the public agency, has user-oriented approach. European Commission defines the policy and the strategic direction of European Space Program, while EUSPA is the responsible of operational implementation. EUSPA has several centers that operates under here in the map. You can see the GSC, where we work, but also GSMC and other locations over Europe. So yeah, very important for us to know, as I explained, to know what are your needs. So in summary, European Commission is the program manager, and the EUSPA, the European Space Agency for the Space Program, is the exploitation manager that is the contracted authority for space OPAR, where we are part of this consortium, let's say. This is just to introduce what is this of European Commission, EUSPA, and GSC. Okay, I hope that it is clear. And before go to Galileo, I would like to explain a bit what are the components of the Eurospace program. So I would like to mention first EGNOS and Galileo, that are a navigation satellite system. EGNOS augments GPS signals to provide safety of live navigation that is essential for aviation, also maritime and precision agriculture. It's an augmentation system that improves the accuracy of GNSS. Galileo is the European global satellite navigation constellation, deliver highly accurate positioning, but also timing services with strong features for authentication and emergency response. We will see in detail. Also, Copernicus is the Earth observation program. It has a constellation of satellites, Sentinel satellites, imageries that you can acquire for free. For climate monitoring, disaster management, urban planning, many kind of different applications. Another component is the Secure SATCOM. Here we have GovSatCom and IRIS that are focused on secure connectivities. They guarantee resilient communication for governments and critical infrastructure. And last but not least, the SSA, the Space Situational Awareness, that protect this kind. It has, let's say, this kind of services: space surveillance and tracking, space weather events, and near-Earth objects. So they monitor the space weather, they detect also near-Earth objects is another component. So together, let's say these 5 components strengthen European Union strategic autonomy, security, sustainability, and technological competitiveness in the space sector. So now that we have introduced the space program, where EUSPA is the responsible of the exploitation manager, is the exploitation manager of this space component, space program, sorry, we will go to Galileo. Okay, so here, what is Galileo? Here you have some description, but to put it simple, Galileo is the Europe's global navigation satellite system that provides highly accurate, guaranteed global positioning, navigation, and timing information. Unlike other systems, Galileo is unique because it is under civilian control and is designed by the European Union to ensure independence and to provide a reliable service that meets the specific needs of our citizens and industry worldwide, especially now that we are in a moment in the world where it is very important that Europe has their own autonomy, right? They are compatible. This system is compatible with GPS and other GNSS. Is free. It has a better horizontal and vertical position compared with another GNSS, and work in different frequency bands. It's managed by the EUSPA. SpaceOpal is the Galileo service operator, and now we will explain the services of this global navigation system. Before this, we would like to explain a bit the road map. Galileo is in continuous development, which is why user feedback is so important for us. Recent milestones include the launch of the High Accuracy Service, the HAS service, in 2023, and the Open Service Navigation Message, OSNMA, very recently launched in 2025, last year. With further evolution already planned, staying in touch help us ensure these future services align directly with the needs. So we are working continuously, and that's why it's very important for us to know if to have the feedback from users. Okay. Here we have a table comparing Galileo with GPS, GLONASS, and Beidou. When we talk about Galileo, that is civil, once again, we often refer to the broader concept of GNSS and PNT. GNSS is Global Navigation Satellite System, is the umbrella term for constellation like Galileo and GPS. We normally use GPS, but the correct name, let's say, the more the broad name is GNSS. Here you have the characteristic. Yeah, I would like to go to the next slide because this is just for your information. What are the characteristics of Galileo compared with other GNSS? Why choose Galileo for your application? As shown here, the system offers a wide range of advantages. First, it is free service with global coverage. It's European, but it's worldwide, works worldwide, have global coverage, meaning you can rely on it anywhere in the world. It uses multi-frequency signal, which makes it particularly resistant to multipath interference. This technical feature result in improved positioning accuracy compared to other systems. It has interoperability with other GNSS. And finally, let's say that adding Galileo to your receivers, you gain increased redundancy and reliability, ensuring that your operation remains stable even in demanding conditions. So we will explain later, we will show some specific application and example where you will understand much better the benefits of Galileo. Here we have the services. This is important because we offer different kind of services. Some of them are operational and others are under development. So the first one, the open service is free for all users, improve accuracy and robust European timing for mass market application. Then we have the high accuracy services that I will explain now in more detail in the next slide. It is a service, it's a free service that provides the symmetry level of accuracy via Galileo broadcast corrections. The next one, the PRS, the Public Regulated Service, is an encrypted and controlled access for authorized governmental and critical users for member states. It's a special service, let's say, because it's for governmental users. The fourth service is the search and rescue that allows to locate people in emergency. It's a global localization of distressed vehicles with return link confirmation to the user. So if you are in danger, there is a signal that comes back to the user in order to say that the help is coming. So a lot of lives have been saved in the last year thanks to this service. And under development, we have the emergency warning satellite service, broadcasting public alerts without relying on terrestrial network, imagining any catastrophic event that we have very recently in the world, that now the climate change is here. So this is very relevant. Another services that is under development is the signal authentication service. It has an additional layer of cryptographic that provides a confidence layer. It will be, it is under development. It's more robust compared with OSNMA because they not only provide authentication of the navigation message, but also the ranking code. And the last one is the timing service that is free of charge, that provide timing and synchronization information, very important for some application like financial application, everything related with synchronization of timing, very useful in energy market. So this is because Galileo not only provides position, but also timing. Okay. So I will explain, before giving the word to my colleague Luis, what is HAS. HAS is the high accuracy service of Galileo. Why is important this service? While GNSS enables many applications across multiple industry, the standalone accuracy provided is often not enough for some professional or emergency application. Errors must be corrected to achieve high accuracy positioning, and therefore multiple technologies such as PPP, RTK, more recently, PPP-RTK have been developed over the years to achieve this, but as you can see here, there are some advantages and disadvantages, okay? For example, RTK is constrained by its operational model, which requires bidirectional communication. So Galileo HAS is based on the provision of open format, accurate satellite data, which is not only transmitted using the signal in space, but also via internet. You have two ways to access to this service. So in summary, Galileo HAS offers real-time decimeter positioning and is free of charge. You can access to this information, to this correction in almost real time. So this is something unique and is for free, and this is one of the services more relevant for surveyors and geographic information system application. Here, very briefly, we have the service 1 and service 2 with different characteristics. You will see that in the service level 2, the convergent time will be improved. Also, we will have atmospheric correction. So here you have a comparison of this kind of two services, two level. You have here a table with the accuracy, the typical HAS positioning. You have a link where you can find more detail about this characteristic of HAS performance. And just to say that the action of Galileo is worldwide, even though you have some areas where are excluded, the performance are worse, but the services is operational worldwide. Here we invite you, we are publishing reports every quarter. Here you can see some performance, and I invite you to explore the characteristic if you want to our website. And here we have the roadmap. The initial service was declared in 2023. It provides free PPP correction. And here you can see that not only in the phase 1 where we are now in the initial service, we will have a HAS full service in the future, fully develop the stage of HAS. It will expand coverage and performance compared with the initial service, and you will have a much better performance. So here, documentation, just information in case you want to explore more. More information, because how you can use HAS. Here you have a list, HAS enable list, where that is update. We are updating this list of HAS enable receivers. So here you can explore. And this is the summary of what is HAS service. Is deliver high precision positioning correction, provides decimeter level accuracy, is free of charge precision point positioning. You can access via signal in space or internet. If you have any doubts, you can reach us by email or in the support center. So it's designed for a wide range of professional application that will be explained by Luis. And I will give the floor to him because we are a bit, we don't have much time to expand. But thank you very much, Luis. The floor is yours. You can continue explaining the OSNMA service and the application and more information about reports. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Teresa, and good afternoon to everybody. We are really glad to be here. Thank you for EUROGI for this invitation. We really want to share these slides with you. And as my colleague Teresa said, we want this to be a first interaction with you. Not just as a single point, but just to the starting point of a continuous and interaction and work together. So it's what we want from this first interaction with you. After my colleague explained to you this differentiator, these services especially that we are focusing today, HAS and SNMA, these are the two differentiators services of our European Galileo GNSS system. She already said talk about the HAS, and now we are going to go over the OSNMA. OSNMA stands for Open Service Navigation Message Authentication. So it's quite simple. We're going to have a service that authenticates, is a complement of the open service and authenticates the navigation message that is coming in the signal. So what is the context of OSNMA? As you all know, as I supposedly know, the GNSS signals are really low power. So they can be really jammed, they can be disturbed by any small device with a low power. You can just jam, you can get jamming of the signal. But more than that, they are open and globally accessible. So everybody knows how they are, the structure, how they are developed, what is the frequency. So it's really easy to falsify these signals and have them broadcast like GNSS-like signals, like Galileo signals like this one. And this falsification really can have serious impacts on all kinds of applications. The critical application transport, of course, there are some of them are more critical, but in all of these applications there is a problem getting that, because you get a solution that is not true. It's a false solution, the PNT solution you get. With the traditional open service, the one we usually use, we cannot verify the origin or confidence of the navigation data. So with this additional layer, this layer that we get authentication, we can trust this GNSS position. We can trust the information we are getting from a Galileo satellite that we know. So we know that we are getting right information from the right satellite. So this is the context. What is the concept? How it has been implemented? We are going just to go over really a very high level. There's a lot of techniques underneath, mainly all this cryptographic authentication, but really how it has been implemented is through the cryptographic authentication of the navigation data. Again, we are authenticating just the navigation message that is going with the signal. We are not authenticating the ranging, the pseudo range, just the navigation data, the ephemeris, clock, the timing via this digital signature. So, and in this way, we improve the robustness and resilience. Without entering in technical details, just to give you a glance of what is going over, that is, this data is embedded in the own navigation message. There are some positions that we are using, and in those positions, we provide this information that is taken by the receiver, and then with all this information and knowing what it gets, it can just work with this authentication. We're not going to go into this HK root max section, that the bits, it is not part of this, but if you're interested, we can give you more information on this, or you can ask us. What is very important is that there is a need to access and retrieve this cryptographic data, mainly what we call public key and Merkle tree, that is available through us. So you have to contact us, you have to contact the GNSS Service Center, then we will provide you the access to it. We'll put you in our list, in a user list, and we'll provide you with these keys that will allow you just to put in your receiver, and you can get them then and use this OSNMA service. And of course, just last but not least, it does not impact on previous receivers, so it's backwards compatible. So the way we have this something that is typical when you do this kind of evolutions. As I said, and also my colleague said, there is plenty of information. We have plenty of information, documentation. The one important, as I told you, is the one on your right, this Internet Data Distribution ICD, because you, as a user, you will need to contact us again to access and retrieve the cryptographic data that you need to get this being used in your receiver. Of course, you have the service definition document. That is the first one you should know, you should read, with the characteristic and performance, the ICD for the signal in Spain, the receiver guidelines for manufacturers, a bunch of information, documents, and references on that. As it happens with us, with OCNMA, we have already many receivers that are already compatible and enabled to use. We have a list. You have the link, and the first line you can see the link here. We have updated it monthly, so you can get, if you are going to buy a receiver, you can see if it's in the list, if it's compatible or not. And in any case, if you have any doubt, just contact us. We'll provide you with our contact details and also ways to reach us in the last slides. Okay. So as a summary of this really high level and really brief presentation of SNMA, with SNMA, what we get, really what the acronym says, Open Service Navigation Message Authentication. So we authenticate the satellite navigation message of the open service, okay? And what we get with that, we get an additional layer that in which we can get the assurance that this information is coming from a Galileo satellite. And the navigation data is genuine and it's not has been altered, it has not been falsified. We didn't go to details, but it's a really, underneath all this is really a lot of cryptographic techniques, systems, and so on with keys. And the only thing that I want you all of you just to have here, take from here, is that you need to contact us to get the public keys and the Tesla keys and the Merkle tree. That is what you need to make your receiver work. As we are saying, it improves the resistance to the spoofing. This malicious intention of getting false signals that we can go to our receivers. And it's very important that it authenticates the data, this navigation data, not the position, not the pseudo-random, not the random noise, the pseudo-random, the range that we receive. That will come with the SAS, the service that my colleague already introduced. The signal authentication service will complement this one. SAS will complement OSNMA by providing authentication of the range, of the pseudo range of the signal. Okay, this will come with the Galileo second generation in the coming years. And again, as I said, it's backward compatible, so there is no impact on the current performance of the open service receiver that we have right now. Now, after all this introduction and presentations, we want just to focus on what we have here, the geoinformation, the geographical information system, the geospatial data, all what EUROGI is really your association is working on, and is the domain and the market that you are working. As my colleague said at the beginning, we want to work with you. We want to be and study use cases that you find good for you, that are really useful for you, and you can have benefit. You can present to your clients. You can do your business. It's good for you, your company, or your institution. So really, what we are focusing here, and what we want is getting use cases that are used by you. Galileo is already there. These services, many services, but especially these services, OSNMA and HAS are here, are free. All of us Europeans have paid for them. So they are there. So let's go use them. Let's go use them. And let's go use them to the advantage of our businesses, our companies, our institutions. And what we want really is to have use cases. What the European Commission wants, what the EUSPA wants, is users actually using this for them, for the use cases. And we want to really know which one are good, and maybe some of them they are not added value. Some of them, you want is the good information is good for us, both of the information. And regarding HAS, Okay, so once we have a free, a global, real-time decimeter level positioning, use them. We think that they can empower the high precision geospatial applications across land, infrastructure, environmental domains, all your domains, all what you are working on, what EUROGI is working on, all you partners of EUROGI are working on. So you as users of these geographic information systems, land surveyors, urban planners, civil engineers, all of you, we have already identified some of these use cases, like for GSOL mapping, for cadastral mapping, urban planning. Some of them are potential, maybe we are not sure if there is a real advantage for business, because we have cases in which there is a technical advantage, but there is not a business advantage on this. So it's good, you get an improvement, but you don't really get the business out of it, really to make you have a business, and you don't see the advantage on this. Even in those cases, we want to know, we want to see, and is what the EUSPA wants, what the European Commission wants. And the same happens with the OCNMA. So with this authentication, now we have, again, a free, again, paid by all of us, service here, signal there in the space, that provides authenticity of the Galileo signal, of our GNSS signal. So we can have this signal, this service that protects us from spoofing and manipulation, that it might be good in some environments that can provide you an added value in your business, for your company, for your institution. And you can have trusted positioning for mapping, surveying, smart cities, whatever. But maybe that confidence is critical. Which use cases are we talking about? Or we think that can be? What you are seeing there, for geodesy deformation, for mapping of cadastral, construction of mining, hydrography infrastructure. So all of you users of this that provide and work in those use cases, or think of, or know, or you don't know, we want you to use it again. Okay, so there are cases already. We have cases. We have projects. We are having projects ongoing and already finished that have found the advantages, really advantages on these new services. For example, the University of Vienna in Austria, they have been working with innovation and scientific progress, just taking advantage of this. Or like a Canadian scientist group at the University of New Brunswick, they went to Antarctica, and they really, what they were able is to create an ultra precise 3D map of the underwater there in Antarctica, without no use of vertical or nothing at all. So it was more cheaper, simple, and very good. The outcome was very good. And one thing that really we want, and is what the European Commission wants and EUSPA wants, is not really using just one of what they call the components. My colleague Teresa presented you at the beginning that there are more components, more elements. So we are talking here about navigation. Galileo and EGNOS are about navigation, PNT, position, navigation, and timing. But there are other that, for example, you use a lot in your field. Is the EO, the Earth observation data. What really is one thing that really is really the Commission and EUSPA wants is examples, use cases, with a combined use of those ones. And that this GIMS project that you see on this side is an example in which you using the Copernicus synthetic aperture radar, the SAR data, the GNSS data from Galileo, and some inertial units from some inertial data, they were able to detect and monitor landslides. So these are just examples that are going on. There are other ones and other future ones, and we are here right now here with you to go over this, answer your questions, and see which ideas you have, what you think could be a good project for this interaction and working together. We have, as I said, many projects around here. So EUSPA, European Commission, the Horizon, the RRD projects of the European Commission really allows to have many of these projects. These are such examples. But really, this is just a way of working with us and interacting with us and working for your own benefit. So we want to support for your own benefit, for your own business. How we do that? As I said, EUSPA, European Commission, has procurements, has grants, they have grants, they have the Cassini challenges, they have prices, there is really a lot of money that is given to the good ideas. There is another line just really for chipsets, receivers, and antennas. This is called fundamental elements, another line of just providing some fundings. Horizon Europe for the research, European Union, research and development funding mechanism, the Horizon, what 2020, before all of this, we are a part of this. So you can also get fundings. You can present your project. It can be funded, and you can go over it. And yes, you can just your good idea can go through. Another really important niche is the startups. The startups, they have more problems. It's not so easy for them to be in the market. So there is a special care at the EUSPA, the European Commission, for the startups. So all startups are treated really with more care. We want them to keep on going and to keep being there. And we're open for any collaboration and testing, as we said, as we were saying all the time. How? We have user consultation platforms, almost yearly. We have market reports that are there. What we want to compile is your user needs, your user requirements, and go along with them to get use cases using, in this case, HAS and OSNM services, just to get and something that you really is good for you, is needed for you and in your business. All of this can do it with your consultation platform, downstream days. This year we have had an OSNM day, some months ago. Last year we have a HAS day, also a complete day with presentations. It was also transmitted by the European Commission. So we have many ways to work with us and with you. So really, and we really agree with your vision. We really agree with the EUROGI vision. We want really to collaborate and support you. We want to collaborate and you us to leverage geospatial location-based information and technologies as fundamental drivers for the European digital society. Your vision. We completely agree with you. We want to go along with you. We want to go with you on getting this vision put there. And as I said, there are many ways with the testing campaign that we can support. You can tell us that you have receivers on our center. We can provide you tools, supports, experts with analysis of data, receivers that we can go with you, so observation phases. Almost everything, I will say. And as my colleague Teresa said, there are many ways to be in touch with us. So you have our email addresses there, but there is a help desk. Part of our center, part of our work is just a help desk that you can just ask anything, and we will try to answer you as soon as possible and with all the information. We have the websites of EUSPA and the GSC, and we are looking forward to getting the feedback from you of using these services, these signals. So as a conclusion, just of this really high level and really high level presentation of this, we have showed you GNSS, not GNSS, but the space in Europe, how it is structured, the framework on that, and we have focused in two services, the two new services that are differentiators of our system, our GNSS system, Galileo, from other ones. And they are free. They are there, and they are free. And it's just for us to use it, to use them, and to get advantage of this, the added value that they provide for our own businesses, for our own benefit. So you have HAS there with an open, free, worldwide, real-time, high accuracy, decimeter level, and every time, every day, so 24/7. We have these corrections there. We have OSNMA there. We have this, again, the signal with an additional layer, the open service with an additional layer that will allow us to preclude the data manipulation, the spoofing. So can be good for some critical businesses that we do. Critical operations we have, surveying or mapping or something like that. So then we think that Galileo provides surveyors an improved measurement accuracy. And SNMA delivers a key security layer on top of it, that it can be good for you for surveying or ensuring resilient and trustworthy positioning. We want those use cases to be with you. We have some ideas we have showed you before. We want to work with you on those. And just the last but not the least is just we want us, EUSPA GSC, European Commission, we want to work with you and provide guidance to support you, to collect your needs. And it's very important. We want also to know your needs, your requirements. And we would like to work together with you to get them fulfilled. So I think this all is what we have in our presentation slides. Really is maybe too much information, too quick. But again, we are open for continue working with you, any workshop in the later on, anything we want. And so now I will pass the floor to my colleague Teresa to continue and finish the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Luis. Yes, very important for us to know your feedback and your needs. So feel free to explore more the opportunities of EUSPA if you want to collaborate with us for some tests. Also really important, if you have any success story where you have implemented the use of Galileo, we are here, we can give you support and also to give you promotion of your activities in case you have this project or use case you can publish in our webpage. So yeah, this is the time for Q&A. We don't have much time. Before this, I encourage you to scan the QR code that is also related with application. So we have just two questions. The first one is, which application are you most familiar with or use most often? I see that 100% is mapping, GIS and cadastral. Yes, it's very, here you have many applications. It's true that is very generic. But also thinking about this, feel free to write down needs or application or context where you think that GNSS or in particular Galileo could help in your application. What are your needs? What is something that you really miss in the market that you don't find and you would like to, maybe, I don't know, accuracy in mapping application or whatever you think, please feel free to write down. We prefer to have it, to keep it like an open answer, better than have a list of choices, because yeah, mapping application and geographic information system is very extensive. Integration with other constellation, okay, accuracy. Keep in mind that the Galileo is interoperable. It works together with GPS, another constellation. Also very important, as Luis mentioned, if you have any study where you combine not only GNSS, but also, for example, Copernicus project, Earth observation, let us know, because also we can promote your use cases. We are in charge, let's say, of Galileo, but the EUSPA is in charge of all the space components. So, and if you have any other question, please feel free to ask. Anyway, I will share now the.
Teresa, can I add something on that?
Yes, of course.
Yes, just for you to know, usually the latest is that usually the receivers are what we call it multi-frequency, multi-constellation. So usually the receivers, right now, what we have nowadays in our telephones, or what we use, usually they use all the basic constellations and also different frequencies. So it's something that we get very good accuracy out of them. So it's something that is already taking the really almost more than likely implemented on our receivers, or the receivers we buy and right now. So only that. Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, this is the end of the webinar. It has been a pleasure sharing how Galileo can power projects and support the EUROGI community. Remember that at the GSC we are partners and we provide technical support that you need. So we encourage you to stay in touch, keep sharing your feedback, explore our resources, EUSPA, GSC, and let us know. Maybe it's too much information in less than in 1 hour. So here you have our email addresses, and feel free to reach us in case you have any question or you plan any kind of collaboration or interest. Luis, if you want to say something else on Alejandro, well, Alejandro will close the webinar, of course.
Yes. Again, as we said before, and my colleague said, we thank you very much for being here, for inviting us to be here. We just want to be, we insist on it. We want to be just a first contact. We are open to continue collaborating with you in what you want, what you need, in what you are looking for. So it's what we want. Just EUSPA wants, European Commission wants these systems to be used. They are paid by us, and it's for us to use it in our own benefit. And we are here to help you. And we are also looking forward to getting from you your needs, your requirements, what you need. We are open to be here. We want just, and we will convey all this information up there to EUSPA, to European Commission. We are a way to get there. And nothing more. Thank you very much for your attention. And thank you again very much to EUROGI and Alejandro. Alejandro, thank you very much for everything.
Thank you, Teresa and Luis. Is there any questions from the audience? Any doubt? Anything that you want to ask? You can write it in the chat as well. Okay. Now we have 2 minutes. I wanted to ask, maybe it's more curiosity. I think it was very interesting, the authenticated services that you mentioned. Is usual that this kind of attacks or spoofing of the GPS or GNSS signal, or is more trying to prevent and to that it will not happen in the future? Because I heard this thing happen eventually when the president of the European Commission was going to land. But is that it happens so often, or is more just in case that it will be a critical situation that we? So it's just to know at which point we should be going to that authenticated services, or is more in case of war or these kind of critical situations?
Yeah, if I can answer that, this now, as you can see in the TV and news, this kind of jamming and spoofing are more frequent in very different environments, aviation, maritime. There are many. We have some statistics, or I can share with you, but this is happening very, very often. So this is something that is very important, and that's why there is another under development service called Signal Authentication Service that will be more robust than OSNMA, because OSNMA doesn't prevent, but it's a protection layer. Very important for this kind of application, that would say that the Galileo signal is original, is authenticated. So this is important. Maybe Luis, you can complement, please, if you want.
No, it's quite right what Teresa says. So it's okay. Spoofing is you need more work. So it's not jamming. You just have a small device and just with power in that frequency, and you just and put everything. You don't get the signal. Spoofing is more elaborated, but it is happening. It's happening, and it's more often happening more and more. Because in this way, it's not that you are like falsifying. You are making the users or the one that you want to attack to get a wrong signal, wrong solution, wrong MPNT solution. So it's true. It's more and more is happening, and it's true. So what just Teresa said. So that is something that we have to take care of.
And us as users, how can we use this kind of service? Should we looking the small letters of a device to see if they are using it, or we can implement it in any kind of device, or how will be the I don't know, the downstream of this authenticated service?
If I may answer, the way to do it is just to buy it. Usually what happens, we are working, EUSPA, us and the European Commission, we are working with manufacturers, with receiver manufacturers, with chipsets. So the way to use it is to buy one that has already this already embedded, already working. It's one of the things that is able to do. So it's the best thing. And for that is what we have shown before, that is there's a list, we have a list that we maintain on a monthly basis of all the devices and the application chipsets that are really OSNM enabled or has enabled. And if you have any doubt and you don't have in this small letter, maybe that it should be not so small letter, but a big letter, because it's a good differentiator of that device, should be in big letters, just ask us and we will try to help you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting. We are running out of time. Thank you very much again. I think it's very interesting. For sure, we will come back to you because I think that one of the last slides about the resources that you provide to push and in all the programs and grants and everything that you have, that will be very interesting for our members. Thank you very much again, and hope you soon. Stay in contact. Thank you.
Okay.
See you soon. Thank you, all of you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.